Your cat freezes, pupils blown wide, ears locked forward. She's staring at the corner of the room, the same corner she's been fixating on for 3 nights in a row. There's nothing there. You've checked. But she doesn't move, doesn't blink, just watches. Here's the thing. She's not wrong. She's not broken. She's seeing something. And what the something is might change the way you think about her forever. 1. You've seen it too, haven't you? You know exactly what I'm talking about. Your cat is mid-nap, completely checked out, and then she's not. She snaps upright, head tracking something invisible moving across the ceiling, or she's sitting in the hallway at midnight, perfectly still, staring into a room you both know is empty. And there's this moment, just a second, where you feel it too. That chill, that pull to look over your shoulder. You're not imagining it, and you're not alone. Cat owners describe this same scene in almost identical words, across different homes, different cities, different countries. The corner, the wall, the end of the hallway. Something there that only the cat can see. Here's what makes it stranger. Cats don't do things for no reason. Every locked gaze, every flick of the ear has a purpose rooted deep in their biology. Which means when your cat watches something move across an empty room, she's tracking something real. The question is just whether real means what we think it means. Science has an answer for this. But I'll warn you now, it's not the answer that makes the mystery smaller. Drop a 1 in the comments if your cat has done this to you. I want to see how many of us are sitting in the same haunted living room. 2, when she looks for who's gone. Some of the most quietly devastating stories cat owners tell aren't about old houses. They're about loss. A woman loses her cat of 16 years. Weeks later, her new cat keeps stopping in the hallway, staring at the spot where the old one used to sleep. Another person's cat climbs into their late grandmother's chair on the exact anniversary of her passing and just sits there purring. A family notices their cat meows at the closed bedroom door every evening at the exact time their father used to come home. Coincidences? Maybe. But one story makes maybe very hard to hold on to. At the Steerhouse Nursing Centre in Providence, Rhode Island, a grey and white cat named Oscar lived on the dementia ward. He was not a particularly warm cat, kept to himself mostly. But staff began noticing something. Oscar would single out specific patients and curl up beside them. Within 2 hours, those patients were gone. Before Oscar himself passed at age 17, he had accurately predicted the deaths of more than 100 patients. Nurses would call families to say their goodbyes when Oscar settled in. A geriatrician from Brown University wrote about him in the New England Journal of Medicine. One doctor said simply, "This is a cat that knows death." What did Oscar sense? Nobody fully knows. And honestly, does the explanation matter as much as the fact? 3. The world inside your walls. Here's the part that got me when I first learned it. Your eyes have a built-in UV filter, a protective layer in the lens that blocks ultraviolet light before it reaches your retina. It's been there your whole life. You've never seen the world without it. Your cat has no such filter. That white wall you're both looking at right now, to you, it's blank. To her, it might be covered in UV reactive patterns. The faint trail of a mouse that crossed 3 days ago, optical brighteners from laundry detergent floating in the air, reflections from sources of light your eyes simply cannot register. A 2014 study in the Proceedings of the Royal Society B confirmed that cats have UV transparent lenses, perceiving an entire spectrum of light that is biologically invisible to you. And that's before we talk about the tapetum lucidum, a reflective layer behind her retina that bounces light back through the eye a second time, effectively doubling what she pulls from any scene. It's why her eyes glow in the dark. It's why, according to Cornell veterinary research, she sees 6 to 7 times better than you in low light. Her field of vision is wider. Her ability to track micro-movements, the flutter of a moth's wing, a particle drifting through a sunbeam, is something your brain discards as noise. She's not staring at nothing. She's watching a world that exists in your living room in full detail while you remain completely blind to it. 4. The frequency of the unseen. The upper limit of human hearing is around 20,000 Hz. According to the Cornell Feline Health Center, cats hear up to 64,000 Hz, more than 3 times what we can reach. That means your cat is sitting in what feels to you like total silence, surrounded by sound, the hum of wiring in the walls, the scratch of something moving inside the baseboards, pipes settling in ways you'll never consciously register. But here's where it gets genuinely interesting. Research suggests cats are also sensitive to infrasound, low-frequency vibrations that travel through floors and foundations before they become perceptible to humans. After the 2011 Tohoku earthquake in Japan, a study found that nearly 45% of cat owners reported unusual behavior from their cats in the hours before the disaster struck: hiding, frantic meowing, fleeing. The cats knew something was coming before any instrument detected it. Her whiskers pick up micro-changes in air pressure and vibrations in the floor that you would never feel standing in the same room. If she can sense the earth moving before we do, what else is she registering that we've simply decided isn't there? 5. Every culture said the same thing. Ancient Egypt, Celtic Scotland, Norse Scandinavia, feudal Japan. 4 civilizations with no contact, no shared language, no common mythology, and every single one arrived at the same conclusion. Cats exist somewhere between our world and whatever comes next. In Egypt, cats were sacred to Bastet, goddess of the home and protector of souls. Killing one, even accidentally sustas, was punishable by death. Egyptians believed cats could ward off evil and guide the dead safely into the afterlife. They mummified them. That's not how you treat a good mouser. In Celtic Scotland, the cat Seath was a large black cat believed to roam the boundary between the living world and the other world. During Samhain, the origin of Halloween, families performed specific rituals to keep the cat Seath from stealing the souls of the newly dead. In Norse mythology, the goddess Freyja, deity of love, war and magic, travelled in a chariot pulled by 2 great cats. In feudal Japan, the Bakaneko was believed to grow powerful enough over time to communicate with the dead. When that many unconnected cultures land on the same answer independently, you stop calling it superstition, you start calling it data. 6. What faith already knew. Science works by measuring what it can reach. There is a lot it cannot reach. Most of the world's major faiths have always held that the physical world isn't the whole story. Christianity describes angels and spirits operating in a dimension alongside our own. The Islamic concept of jinn speaks of beings invisible to human perception, moving through a world that overlaps with ours. Jewish tradition contains accounts of the soul's journey after death. Hindu belief holds that consciousness doesn't simply end, it continues in forms we may not recognize. Across all of these traditions, the idea that some creatures might perceive what humans cannot is not strange, it is expected. We were never promised our senses were the most complete ones in the room. So when your cat locks onto something in the corner, tracking it with the focus of an animal that does not waste attention, the question isn't whether she's malfunctioning. The question is whether she's tuned into a frequency that human perception, for whatever reason, was never designed to receive. That's not superstition, that's humility. 7. Maybe we're the blind ones. Remember what I said at the beginning, that your cat is seeing something you lost the ability to see a long time ago? Here's what I meant. Human infants can perceive UV light. The filtering lens develops later in childhood, which means at some point every one of us saw the world the way your cat sees it right now, and then that window closed. We didn't lose the world, we lost the access. Your cat never lost hers, so when she freezes at 2 a.m. and watches something cross a room you know is empty, she might be tracking dust catching UV light. She might be hearing something alive inside the walls. She might be sensing a shift in air pressure or electromagnetic field that nothing in your house is calibrated to detect. Science accounts for all of that. But science also has edges, and past those edges, billions of people across thousands of years have believed that the ones we love don't simply stop, that the places we've lived hold something of us, that love, somehow, lingers. Maybe your cat is just an extraordinarily sensitive animal responding to biology. Maybe she's something more. Maybe, and this is the part no one in a lab coat will say out loud, those 2 things aren't as different as we've been told. She's in your room right now, watching something. Trust her a little.